My beloved child, you have carried the sting of mockery in silence, and heaven has seen the tears you never let fall in front of them, the moments you smiled even as their laughter pierced your heart, thinking your faith was weakness while it was the very armor keeping you from collapse. And I, Jesus, speak to you now because the time of divine reversal has begun. The season where those who mocked your faith will witness the unshakable power behind it, for I have tested your heart not to break you but to prove that no ridicule, no rejection, and no disbelief could separate you from the love I planted deep within your soul. And while they scoffed and called you naive for believing in what they could not see, I was writing your vindication in the silence, preparing a moment so undeniable that their very lips that once mocked you will tremble as they speak your name in reverence. For soon they will come not with pride but with trembling hands, seeking the prayers of the one they once humiliated. The same voice they silenced will become their only doorway to mercy, because I have seen your patience and your quiet endurance. I have seen how you still chose kindness when anger would have been easier, how you whispered prayers for the very ones who belittled you. And I say to you now, your prayers did not vanish into the air, they built unseen bridges between your pain and their redemption. And I am walking across those bridges even now, turning what they meant for insult into a moment of awakening that will shake them to their core, for there is coming a night when they will not be able to sleep, when their thoughts will circle back to your unwavering belief, and they will realize that everything they mocked you for was the very thing they needed all along, and they will remember how you spoke about me, how you said that love conquers hate, how you held peace in chaos, and when the world they trusted collapses, your faith will be the light they crawl toward in the dark, because I am going to expose the emptiness behind their laughter, not to destroy them, but to reveal to them that the same God they ridiculed has always been waiting for their return, through you, my faithful one. And when they reach out, trembling, unable to explain the guilt pressing upon them, you will know it is I who brought them to that moment. For I have chosen you to be both the witness of their fall and the instrument of their redemption. But hear me, this is not a time to gloat or remind them of their cruelty. This is a time to show the depth of grace I've poured into you, for forgiveness will be your weapon and compassion your crown. And as you pray for them, yes, the very ones who once laughed in your face, heaven will open doors for you that no man could ever shut, because mercy multiplies favor, and every act of obedience you showed in the darkness has been recorded in my book of remembrance, soon to be turned into blessings so visible that those who doubted you will know that I, the Lord, have done this. I am positioning you in the sight of those who once despised your devotion, not so you can be glorified, but so that they may see my reflection in your endurance. For I am about to use your story as a mirror, so that when they see your rise, they will see their error. When they see your peace, they will see their unrest. And when they feel your forgiveness, they will taste my love. And I tell you this now because I need you to stay humble when honor arrives, for the same voices that mocked you will one day defend you. The same mouths that spread rumors will speak blessings over your name, because what I am building through your faith is not revenge, it is revelation, and the revelation will convict their hearts more deeply than any argument ever could. So do not rush this process, for I am aligning hearts, I am stirring consciences, and I am letting the weight of their own words return to them until they see the truth of who I am. And when they come to you asking for your prayers, do not hesitate, for in that moment you will hold the power to heal not only them but the brokenness that once lived between you, and your willingness to forgive will be the key that unlocks blessings you didn't even ask for, because I, the Lord your Redeemer, always repay love with abundance, and while they may not deserve your mercy, you will give it freely, for that is how heaven wins souls, through hearts that reflect my own, and in that divine act I will lift you higher, I will restore your dignity, I will honor your faithfulness in front of those who mocked it, until the world knows that the one who bowed in prayer now stands crowned in favor, and even the angels will rejoice, saying, "This is the one who stayed faithful when it hurt, and now the light of heaven shines through their endurance." My beloved, I see how those words they spoke against you still echo in your heart, how their laughter still finds its way into your thoughts when you least expect it, and I want you to know, every time you replay those moments in your mind, I am there, whispering peace where pain once lived, because the hurt you felt was not unnoticed, and the humiliation you endured was not wasted. For I am weaving even that into a greater story of redemption, one that will make sense only when you see those Same faces that mocked you come to you with tears in their eyes, begging for your prayers, not because you sought revenge, but because I turned their ridicule into realization, their pride into repentance, and I am already softening their hearts, allowing conviction to break through the walls of arrogance they built to hide their emptiness, and soon they will remember your gentleness, your patience, your refusal to retaliate when they provoked you. And they will understand that what they called foolishness was actually faith, what they called weakness was divine strength, what they mocked as delusion was sacred revelation, and in that moment of awakening they will know that your prayers carried power far beyond their understanding, for I was answering through you even when they denied me. And this is why I need you to remain still in this season, for vindication is not found in your hands, it is unfolding through mine. I am arranging circumstances that will lead them back to you, creating divine encounters where your peace will expose their unrest, and your calm will silence their pride, and you must be ready, my child, ready to show them the mercy I showed you, ready to extend a hand not to remind them of their shame, but to lift them toward grace, because your forgiveness will unlock their freedom, and through it, I will pour blessings upon your life that will overflow, not as a reward for revenge, but as the fruit of mercy, and when I elevate you, do not think it strange that the same people who once doubted you will start to seek your wisdom, for I am going to make you a vessel of peace, a living testimony of divine reversal, and I will use your rise not as punishment for them but as proof of my faithfulness, that I defend those who stand for me even when the world stands against them, and I will cause your name to be remembered not for what they said, but for what I did through you. So when they speak your name, they will speak it with reverence, not ridicule, because they will see that the favor surrounding you could have only come from heaven. And my child, this is why I've kept you hidden for so long, this is why certain doors were closed, because I was preparing to reveal you in a way that could not be denied, not through words, but through undeniable evidence of my hand upon your life, for they will see you prosper in the same places they expected you to fail. They will watch your peace grow while theirs withers, and they will ask, "What changed?" And you will answer with one simple truth: Jesus never left. And that truth will pierce deeper than any sermon, because it will be seen, not just heard, and it will humble the hearts of those who used to think they knew better, and one night, while the world sleeps, one of them will wake up and remember the day they laughed at your prayer, the moment they dismiss your hope, and something inside them will break, tears will fall as they whisper your name into the silence, asking if you would pray for them. And though you may not hear it with your ears, heaven will, and I will send you a sign, maybe a sudden thought, maybe a dream, maybe an unexpected message, and you will feel the pull to pray for someone you thought you were done with, and that is how I will use you, for prayer is not bound by time or distance, and your forgiveness will travel through it like light, touching their soul before you even know who it's for. Because you are not just my follower. You are my intercessor, and I have anointed your heart to heal through prayer, so never think that your kindness was wasted or your prayers unheard, for they are seeds, and they are now breaking open underground, and soon, you will see the harvest, not of revenge, but of repentance, and in that moment, when they finally come to you humbled and trembling, I will flood your life with grace so abundant that even you will weep. Not from pain but from awe, for you will understand that all along I was teaching you to love like I do, to forgive like I do, and to shine light even when surrounded by shadows, because I am turning what wounded you into what will crown you, and your faith will become the fragrance that draws them to me. So do not be surprised when blessings begin to multiply in your life, when unexpected favor follows you. For every act of restraint you showed when you could have fought back has written your name into my book of divine compensation, and I am preparing to release over you blessings pressed down, shaken together, and running over, blessings that will make even your enemies wonder how such peace surrounds you, and you will know it was your faith, mocked by many, loved by heaven, that opened the floodgates, and I will continue to pour until every scar becomes a story of my goodness, until every wound becomes a window for my light, and until every name that once cursed yours becomes a testimony that I, Jesus, always defend those who love me even when the world cannot see why. My beloved, I know how you've carried the weight of their words, how even after forgiving them, a small part of you still wonders why it had to happen, why those who once called you friend turned into mockers, why your faith became their favorite joke, and I tell you now, nothing about it was accidental, for every sneer, every doubt they threw at you was a stone that I used to build the altar of your endurance. A sacred place where pain turned into power, where humiliation turned into holiness. Because what they didn't understand was that their laughter only made your spirit stronger, and while they were mocking your prayers, heaven was multiplying their power, making every whispered plea from your heart echo through eternity. And soon, you will see it, the divine switch, the turning of the tables, when those who called you naive for trusting me will start to envy the peace you carry. When the ones who dismiss your hope will begin to crave your light, for I am lifting you in such a way that your rise will become their revelation, and even now I am working behind the scenes, placing you in rooms they never thought you'd enter, surrounding you with opportunities that will unfold like miracles, not for your pride but for my purpose, for I will make your success a sermon, your endurance a prophecy, and your humility the key that opens doors no mockery could ever shut, because when I bless, no opinion can stop it. And when I favor, no ridicule can reverse it, and you will find that every insult became a seed that produced the garden you are about to walk through, lush with blessings and heavy with fruit. So I need you to prepare, to strengthen your faith, to stay anchored in gratitude, because your breakthrough will not come quietly, it will arrive in such a way that even those who once doubted you will not be able to deny that something divine is guiding your path, and they will be drawn, some with curiosity, others with remorse, and one by one they will come. Perhaps not with grand apologies but with humble questions. Can you pray for me? And in that moment, heaven will test the depth of your mercy, and I will watch how you respond, not because I doubt you, but because through you I want to show the world that forgiveness is more powerful than pride, that prayer heals deeper than words, and that faith mocked by men is still honored by God. And when you pray for them, my child, the heavens will move, for I will honor your intercession with miracles. I will let you witness their hearts soften, their pain ease, their tears flow, and you will realize that I chose you to be the bridge between judgment and grace, because you chose compassion when bitterness seemed easier, and for that, I will reward you greatly, not just spiritually but tangibly, with favor so visible it will silence every critic, and I will use even their voices to lift you, turning their gossip into praise, their curses into confirmation, their mockery into motivation. Because I am about to display the kind of turnaround that only heaven could orchestrate, and when they see it, their pride will crumble, and they will know, the faith they mocked was the faith that saved them, and their souls will begin to awaken, even if slowly, as they remember your peace, your smile, your refusal to curse them back, and that memory will become their conviction, their reminder that there is still light in this dark world. And through that light, I will bring them home, for you were never mocked because your faith was weak. You were mocked because your faith made them uncomfortable. It exposed what they lacked, it revealed what they ran from, and though they tried to bury it under laughter, the truth still haunts them, because truth never dies, and now that truth is ripening, pressing upon their spirits until they cannot ignore it anymore. So when you start to see their names again, when messages come unexpectedly, when memories resurface, don't push them away. For I am reopening those connections not to hurt you, but to heal what was broken, to turn what was once a wound into a witness of grace. And when they finally speak to you, trembling, unsure how to face you after what they said, look at them through my eyes, the same eyes that looked upon you with mercy when you failed, and know that in that moment, you hold the same power I did on the cross, the power to forgive, the power to redeem, the power to love those who did not love you, and as you release them with prayer, I will release abundance over your life. For mercy multiplies miracles, and every act of grace attracts glory, and you will begin to see new doors open effortlessly, favor following you in every place, peace settling in your home like a warm light, and even your enemies will begin to serve your destiny without knowing it, because I am the God who uses all things for good, even their laughter, even their cruelty, even your tears, and I say to you now, the laughter they used to wound you will one day echo differently, for they will laugh again, but this time in awe, saying, "Look what God has done!" And you will not gloat, you will simply smile, knowing that my justice was never about punishing them but about proving that my love for you was never in vain, and I will lift you higher not just to bless you but to reach them through your elevation, for your success will preach louder than any sermon, your peace will convict more deeply than any correction, and Your forgiveness will save more souls than any judgment, because I am not done yet. I am only beginning, and this story that once started with mockery will end in miracles so astonishing that you will weep with gratitude, realizing that the very pain that broke you was the path that built you, and the very faith they mocked was the bridge that carried you to your destiny. And now, my beloved one, as the circle nears completion, I am revealing the final layer of what you could not yet see, the divine reason behind every cruel word, every laugh that echoed when you spoke my name, every time you felt foolish for believing in what they could not understand, because I was not punishing you, I was preparing you, and those who mocked your faith were unknowingly sharpening your discernment, teaching you how to hear me above the noise, how to walk when no one else would walk beside you, how to trust when everything around you told you not to, and that is why you stand now in a different light, not broken but refined, not bitter but glowing with the peace that only endurance can produce. And soon, my child, very soon, the same voices that once whispered lies about you will begin to whisper questions about me. They will remember how you prayed even when life gave you no reason to, how you smiled when they expected you to crumble, how you spoke of love while surrounded by doubt, and their hearts will stir in quiet longing for that same strength they once ridiculed, because I have written this season to reveal what true power looks like, not in wealth, not in applause, but in peace that cannot be stolen, in faith that cannot be mocked away, in love that forgives faster than the world can wound, and you, my faithful one, will become the living proof of that power, walking among them not as the one who was mocked, but as the one who was chosen, carrying grace so radiant that it unsettles their pride and awakens their spirit, and in that awakening, they will come one by one, some slowly, some suddenly, drawn not by your success but by your serenity, by the divine calm that surrounds your life like a mantle, and they will ask you to pray for them, not out of politeness, but out of desperation, for they will sense that your prayers move mountains they cannot even name. And when you bow your head and whisper their name to heaven, the angels will take flight, carrying your words straight to the Father's heart, and I will answer, not because they deserve it, but because you dared to forgive, because mercy has greater power than mockery ever will, and in that moment, as your prayers begin to heal what their pride once broke, I will pour blessings into your life faster than you can contain, for I have promised to reward those who pray for their enemies. And I am a God who keeps His word, so expect increase, unexpected favor, divine acceleration, and doors opening in places you never knocked, for every tear you held back was a seed, and every seed is now breaking forth into a harvest of answered prayers, not only for you but for those who once hurt you, because through your obedience, whole generations will be touched, and where they once mocked your faith, they will now testify of it, saying, "It was their prayer that saved me." And you will stand in quiet awe, not seeking recognition but feeling the deep peace of knowing that I used your pain to awaken souls. I turned your scars into stories that will lead others to salvation, and your journey will become a divine chain reaction of miracles, healing, and awakening, for I am not finished with you. I am expanding your territory, your voice, your influence, your light, and I am sending it forth across lands and hearts, because what you carried in silence will now speak loudly. And as you walk into this new season, you will notice how the air feels different, lighter, how your spirit feels freer, how peace no longer feels like a visitor but a home, because you have stepped into divine favor, and this is not temporary, this is established, sealed by heaven, guarded by angels, and written in my eternal plan for you were mocked for believing in me, and now you will be magnified for belonging to me, and I will not just bless you in private, I will honor you in public, in front of those who doubted, so that they may see what faith truly produces, and they will not just see it once, they will see it continue, for I am placing upon your life a continuous stream of favor that does not run dry, favor that renews itself like morning light, and with each blessing, more hearts will turn, more eyes will open, and I will whisper to you in the quiet. This is why I asked you to endure. Because all along I was preparing you for this moment, this divine unveiling where your faith becomes a fountain others drink from, where your forgiveness becomes the bridge that brings the lost back home, and I will even let you see it, not through fame but through faces, faces you thought you'd never see again, faces that once sneered but now glow with tears of gratitude, and when they come to you with trembling voices asking for your prayers, you will smile with compassion, remembering how I prayed for you when you were lost, and you will understand what divine love truly means. And as you lift them in prayer, I will lift you higher, higher into purpose, higher into peace, higher into unexplainable joy, for you have proven yourself faithful, and heaven celebrates that faithfulness even now. So let this be your confirmation, my child. The days of being mocked are over, the days of being misunderstood are behind you, and what lies ahead is a divine unveiling of everything I promised, for the last will be first. And the one they dismissed will now be the one I display, and to those who stayed till this very word I have a promise written in heaven. Before this month ends, a sign will come, a message, a moment, a miracle, that will confirm everything you have heard, and it will not be small, it will be unmistakable, so that you may know this was not a story told, but a prophecy unfolding, and when it comes, say these words out loud. This is my restoration. And heaven will move again, pouring more, opening more, revealing more, for you, my beloved, have stayed, believed, and endured, and now the world will see why. Because the same Jesus they mocked is the Jesus now magnifying you.